Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sally. If you guys haven't been here, welcome. We love everyone. So for today's video, I am going to rank all of my palettes that I tried out for 2021. Now, this was my first official year on YouTube, so I didn't review a lot of them, but I did review over 15 palettes and that surprised me. So I'm gonna talk about my top, I think it's 16 or 17, 18 palettes. Wow, I didn't think that I did this many videos, but apparently I did. Or I showed it here and there as like my favorites or me trying it on or revealing it to you guys. Wow, wow. If I'm not mistaken, this is my 100th video. And wow guys, like that is amazing. Oh my god. For my 100th video, I think I'm gonna do a giveaway. I'm gonna do a giveaway with some makeup. This is the makeup right here. You have a little palette, you have some moisturizers, a little other goodies, and it's gonna be in a little goodie bag. And I just want to say thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for subscribing to me and supporting me and watching the videos and making my dreams come true. And all the info, how to enter, will be down below. It's really easy. All you gotta do is subscribe to this channel, like this video, leave me a comment of what your favorite palette is, and I'm gonna basically tell you guys my ranking of my favorite palettes. Just let me know what your top is in this ranking, and that's all you gotta do. Leave me a way to contact you, either your Instagram handle. Don't put the @ sign. If you put the @ sign on the Instagram handle, it's not going to register that you commented to me. Apparently YouTube doesn't like that. I don't know why, but just leave me a comment and then I'll try to contact you as soon as you can. So keep your notifications on if you can when I do comment you back that you're the winner. This will be live for 1 week and then I will choose the winner and contact you guys. And I cannot believe this is my 100th video. I am shocked of how fast it went. Like, I am surprised and grateful for the number of subscribers and how much fun I'm having. I'm having a lot of fun in here, even if it's just like a little part-time thing that I'm doing. I really like it. Let's go from the worst one to my absolute favorite one that I literally wear all the freaking time. But without further ado, let's get into this video. So if you guys have been watching me for a little while, like April, March, was this in March or April? I forgot. This eyeshadow palette made my eyes red, like red right away. Look at that, look at that. Yeah, it was bad. It was to the point where my eyes were itchy and I had to get it off, and I was like, oh, this is the worst eyeshadow palette of my life. I've never seen one with no pigmentation. It was super dusty, super chalky, and it is the Little Mermaid by Revolution Beauty. I heart Revolution. Okay, let me show you guys something that you guys are just gonna laugh. Ready? Like, what the hell? Scuttle kept coming out of this one, so I had to glue it back on. I glued it on with eyelash glue, but like, look at this ridiculousness. Like, come on. This palette was like 10 bucks, 11 or 15. One of those. It was really cheap. It was from the UK. Like, I don't even know which one's which anymore. Like, that is not cool. It did have highlighters and blushes on one side. So this was a face palette, but I strictly did this as the eyeshadows. I have not touched it since I did that review. I am afraid to, because of how bad my eyes got, and my eyes are precious to me and I want to keep them for a really long time. So this is literally the worst palette that I've reviewed in my life, the worst one that I've had put on in my life. I want to say 99-cent store palette did a lot better than this, so this was bad. I do not like this. Do not recommend it. I don't really recommend Revolution Beauty eyeshadow palettes. I want to try more out because I don't feel like I gave Revolution Beauty a fair shot. So maybe in the future, hopefully they turn out with a really cool palette, maybe with like an influencer, and then maybe I'll review it, but no. Okay, number 17 is the e.l.f. Mint Melt eyeshadow. This was chalky. I didn't have good pigmentation. It didn't blend. I tried to use it for one of my videos and I gave up. I don't like how this swatched. It looks okay, like on the fingers, but then you try to swatch it and you're like, where did it go? Where is it? It is $3, so I can't really complain about that because, you know, $3 is $3, but I wasn't impressed, and I heard these are really, really good, and I've tried other ones and I just, nah. Number 16 is coming in with Jeffree Star. I know you guys are probably like, what the What? I thought you liked it. I like their lip liners and their lipsticks, their eyeshadows, and they're okay. They're okay. I've had better. First of all, you would think this would be an all pink palette. palette because it says Star Ranch. This did come out in the summertime, so it's gonna be very, you know, summery and breezy, bright colors. So I thought this was gonna be like a brown and pink, which would be really on brand because it is Star Ranch and it's supposed to be after his Wyoming house. And I got this in a mystery box, by the way. I got it before anyone else. I think I'm gonna declutter this. I'm gonna do a declutter video soon and maybe just sell it on my Poshmark. So if you guys wanna, you know, subscribe so you guys can be updated on when I do my declutter video. You see how you think it's gonna be all pink and then you open it and you're like, bam, it's brown and blue and green, and you're like, what the heck? Like, how does this correlate to that? I just don't get it. I don't get it. I did use this like 2 or 3 times. I have browns of this color and I have blues and other palettes, and I just think this was unnecessary. I like that he threw in a new palette in his mystery bag when I did get it, or mystery box, whatever it was. I just wasn't impressed. The pigmentation is there. The shimmers aren't that great. I feel like Thirsty palette, the shimmers are really good. These are a little chunky. They're not as shimmery and as potent as I want them to be, or as glittery. And the browns are okay, but I've already have these browns, these blues I don't really care for. I didn't get it. Like I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I did try it out and I was gonna do a review on it, and I was like, this is a waste of a review. Like, I don't even like it. So, you know. Number 15 is gonna go for this. I did try this out I did a ColourPop unboxing video. I don't even know. It was like a ColourPop mystery box that I did, and this was in it. It had 2 palettes. It had a brown one and a purple one. The brown one I gave to my cousin. This one's the Animal Crossing label of the ball, and I thought it was really cute and really pretty and purple, but it made my eyes sting. My eyes are so sensitive, so if anything makes my eyes red, I'm just not gonna use it ever again because I'm so afraid. Speaking of which, I did declutter the Natasha Denona Coral palette. I threw it away because every time I used it, my eyes run and itch and get all red, and to the point where I had to scratch off my whole makeup, and I couldn't wear makeup for 2 whole days of how bad my makeup itched. And I got that palette back in last November, so I guess it's a year old, I guess, whatever, but I could not do it. I could not do it. And also with the Star Ranch palette, I would put the Mini Blood Sugar palette in, but I already declared it. I gave it to one of my cousins as well, and she really wanted it, but that made my eyes itch and water as well, so I just could not do it. It was really hyped up when it came out, and I did like it, but the formula for some reason of Jeffree Star is really good. The first initial like swatches and the first initial, you know, you put it on your eyes, and then after they kind of die down, which isn't that great. Like, they don't last long, the formula, and I just wasn't impressed, and it did make my eyes itch for myself, and that's just me. Like, personally, I didn't like it, so I passed it along. So this would be behind this one. So let's just do like an honorary spot at the Mini Blood Sugar palette. I do appreciate that palette being in my life. I feel like that had to be a journey for me to coming into my life, and especially in this YouTube channel, because it did kind of like kickstart a lot of subscribers for me. It is still the most viewed video to this day, so I do appreciate it. I was in love with it more when I got it, and now I'm just like, whatever. I have others that pique my interest a little bit more. I feel like my fascination of makeup has grown within this past year, and I feel like I'm a little more sophisticated in a way, kind of. No. So this is La Belle of the Ball. It's really pretty. The shimmer is a little chunky. I don't know if you could tell, that's like Chunk Central. It doesn't really show up that, I mean, it does show up that well, but you literally can wipe it away and it's gone. Like, it's gone. So I just didn't really like it. The purples aren't that pigmented, and I do have another palette. I had the Fade Into Hue palette in this ranking as well. That has similar colors, so I just felt like this was unnecessary, and I kind of wished I didn't open it and swatched it. If you guys don't mind that I opened it and swatched it, like once, I literally just used it once and I swatched it right now. I think I'm gonna resell this in my Poshmark for like really cheap, really cheap, because I just wanted to give some love to someone, and I just think for me it's excessive. Number 14 is this one. I actually really like this one a lot. So all of these palettes that I'm gonna go into, I really liked. I already went through the ones that, you know, I just didn't really care for, but this one I liked. This is the e.l.f. X Jen Atkin palette. Love these browns. I did so many different looks in the summers with this brown and this cream color. I do like the bronzer. I like the blush. The highlight is a little dark for me. These mattes, for being e.l.f., is really good, and I don't know what more to say. I wish the this was still in stock, but it's not, so I'm not going to ramble on too much. But this browns were really pigmented. They buffed out really nice. They weren't patchy at all, and they gave me really, really good looks to this. And these browns were a lot of base to different colors that I used for my different palettes, so I like this one. Number 13 is Fade into Hue by ColourPop. I loved this palette. I thought it was really, really good. I just didn't use it as much as I thought I was going to because I felt like a couple colors were missing, which is kind of crazy because this is a colorful palette. As you can see, this is a rainbow palette. I don't think I would ever give this away because it is so colorful and beautiful. And I did two different completely looks when I did this review. I was absolutely in love with it, mesmerized. I just think that the shimmers are a little chunky. They're a little chunk central. They have a little much glitter to it. I wish the glitter was a little more refined so it could be a little more reflective, if you get what I'm saying. I love the purples and the pinks. I feel like they're the best one. Their green is like whatever. The yellow isn't that pigmented, so I didn't really use the yellow side. The orange is orange. Orange is usually always good no matter what palette it is. The orange is usually the best one. The blue, oh my god, I love this one. That blue right there, Hot Copic, oh, that is the best color in this whole palette. I do think it's worth the money because this was like 20 something, 30 something dollars. I don't know, my boyfriend got it for me, but I wish the shimmers had a better formula, and for that's why it's in the ranking that it is, because I do have a little more ColourPop palette in here that have a higher rank than these because of the shimmers itself. I do love this palette, and I don't think I would ever give it away because I think it's the perfect rainbow palette, but you do need a good base, like a good cream base for this to be pigmented, because they're not that pigmented. You need to build them up. Number 12 is the Lizzie McGuire, What Dreams Are Made Of. This is what dreams are made of. I've got somewhere I belong. I've got somebody to love. I freaking love this palette. This is more like a summer palette. I don't think this is really an everyday kind of palette because it does have that bright greens and bright purples.
I love this green.
This green with this deep purple, amazing. Like, it did such amazing looks. I really like this palette. I think these shimmers are a lot better than the Fade to Hue palette. I like that it has a really good size mirror. It has Lizzie. It is branded very, very well. This launch was one of the most excited launches that I have been in a really, really long time. Like, I was in line like waiting for it to check out before it sold out because I figured this is one of the ones that we're gonna check out. I loved the look that I did. I did put butterflies in my hair. I did braids. I did like a 90s cool tie-dye shirt. I went all out. We had a lot of fun. We did a lot of singing in that video. It has a lot of good memories with it. I really liked this palette and I thought it was really good. Good formula, good pigmentation. You can still do your neutrals with that brown, but this is more of a summer palette just because the neutrals and the pinks and the purples are very pigmented and very bright. So this is more of a summer palette, so that's why it's such a low ranking. Number 11 is the Powerpuff Girls X ColourPop. I had so much fun doing this too. I did a little space ones, I did a little 90s look, I did a very colorful eyeshadow, and I went out that day to Long Beach and I got complimented like everywhere that I went, and I really haven't used this palette since, which I don't know why because it's a really pretty palette. I don't think it's an everyday, I mean it kind of is because it has the neutrals everyday kind of palette, but I just didn't gravitates towards this as I thought I was gonna gravitate towards it. I gravitated towards this more than the Lizzie McGuire, which kind of shocks me because I feel like this is more like my color story than this. But other than that, this is one of the heaviest palettes from ColourPop that I've ever felt in my life. It's heavier than the Fade into Hue palette, and this is like a whole lot times bigger, like hello. A lot heavier than the Lizzie McGuire. They did like a cheapy mirror on this one. This one is so heavy. The attention to detail on the Powerpuff Girls palette. Oh, if you guys want to see a full review, I do have full reviews on basically everything that I have here, so just go through my videos, you guys will find it. Very, very pigmented, very beautiful looks. Every time I did this, I just didn't grab it because for me this is very summery, and I only had it for a couple months where I was like, ooh, cool,
yes,
I can use it
for the summer.
Other than that, I didn't, because then I would just do like a basic brown with like, other than that I would just do like basic brown with one of these shimmers, but it would still come out really cute. I liked it. I enjoyed it. number 10 is the Huda Beauty Purple Haze. This is number 10 for me because this is the easiest. Well, first of all, this is one of my smallest palette, but this is one of my easiest palette for me to use to go to work and then just throw it in my purse and do retouches whenever I need to, because it has the perfect browns, the perfect cream color, and then little pops of purples and pinks if you ever need it. I did get this in my Huda Beauty XC box and I was in love with it when I used it. I did a little tutorial in that video when I used it. I love this palette. I don't think the shimmers are as good as some of her other palettes that I have in here. I feel like these shimmers are a little lackluster, but they're perfect everyday kind of palette. Like if you just want to do this and a little bit of mascara, do a little bit of brows, a little bit of foundation, then powder, and you're perfect. Like this is all you need. It's really, really good. I like this. I thought it was cute. It's good. Love the pigmentation, like the shimmers, every day, perfect. Palm of your hand, look, and my hand is small, so it's like the perfect size to just put in your purse and do a little touch-up. So I really like this one. And just to let you guys know, I know some of these palettes are a little bit older, like this one. I know this has been out for a couple years, but these palettes are the ones that I tried this year. Not necessarily when they came out, it's just when I tried them out this year. Number 9 is the Laura Lee Los Angeles Nudie Patootie 2. The reason why I put this as number 9 is because I think the Nudie Patootie 1 is a little bit higher because you can do more looks. I do like that this is a little more pink toned palette, but I feel like it's very monotone. It's very either you're gonna do a dark shadow with a shimmer, or a pink shadow with a shimmer, or another pink shadow with a shimmer. Like it's very kind of, the shimmers are a little repetitive. Like this and this one look very similar. Like Lush and Sheer look very similar. This is a little more darker, this is a little more gold. These two kind of look a little similar. I just wish they had a little more variation. This does pair perfectly with the Nudie Patootie one, like perfectly. Like side by side, if you guys use this is all you really need. But I feel like the shimmers aren't like bam
glittery in your face.
They're more sheer, more natural, more everyday. The formula is like butter. It blends out beautifully. I don't get a lot of looks with it. Like I wanted a little more variety, so that's why it's that ranking. Number 8 is the Moonspell Volume 2 by Lunar Beauty. I loved this palette. The look that I did was amazing. It was so good, so good. The only thing about this is that every look that you'll probably get is either gonna be pink or purple tones. So if you like pinks or purples, you're gonna love this. But if you don't love pink or purple, this is not gonna be your friend. I do think this has beautiful, beautiful tones. This black is unlike a black that I've ever seen because it has pink and red sparkles in it. So it gives a little extra pizzazz to your look, which I appreciate. The shimmers are beautiful. They're a little chunky, a little chunk central, which I don't like. I wish they laid down a little bit better. His facelift palette, those shimmers are top notch. Like they're really good. I do like this palette. I think it's pigmented. I think it buffs out nicely. I just think it's a little, the materials, they're not as good as the facelift palette. The formula isn't as great. I think it's still pretty good. Like they still swatch beautifully, but I need to put a base to this so it stays like on glitters, the shimmers, versus the facelift palette. If I just put it on, I don't need to, which I'm going to talk about in the future. It's really high up there. I liked it. I really do. I think it's great. I think it's a great palette, but you have to love purples and pinks for this to like, for you to get it. So that's why it's the number that it is. Candy Skies by Laura Lee Los Angeles. This palette literally is the perfect summer palette. Like perfect. Number 1 summer palette over the Lipstick McGuire, over the Powder Puff, over anything else I'm talking about. This screams summer and it smells so good. It smells like candy. This is the X Weaver collection, which is her niece. This is what she collaborated with, and every time I did this I fell in love with the looks. It's just not an everyday palette, so that's why it is the ranking that it is. I do feel like this formula is superior to Lunar Beauty Moonspell. I feel like these are just a little more buttery, a little more pigmented than this. This one you have to work a little bit harder than this one. Oh, the smell and the setup, like look at how gorgeous this setup is. Look at that. It is just beautiful, beautiful setup. You do have these two like orangey with a green orange kind of hue. This color is like everything. It shifts from a green to an orange to a dark brown. Like it is so pretty, so pretty. Look at that. reflection. Oh, this is so buttery. Like superior on the formula for this for sure. This is really high up there. Like it's so high up there. Yeah, I think it's really pretty. I think it's the most beautiful pastel, colorful palette. Like if I didn't have the fade into hue, I think this is the perfect rainbow palette, honestly. I feel like these colors are a little more wearable, a little more prettier on the eyes. Any two combinations that you do, you can literally just do the matte with the shimmer, matte with the shimmer, and then you're good to go. Like literally so good. This white is so white, so pigmented. It's just chef's kiss. I love this palette. Number 6, Huda Beauty Rose Quartz. I know. I thought this was gonna be like top 2. I really did. When I first got this, I was like, holy crap, it is beautiful. It is luxury, it is luxurious. It is the perfect cool tone purple pink palette. But you can usually only do 1 or 2 looks with this. That's the only reason why. I think the packaging is gorgeous, beautiful. Like look at that, Gio. Look at that. That is beautiful. When you open it up, you're shocked of how pretty this is. Oh, it's so pretty. I love it. And then this one right here, the Love Stone. It's like a jelly with crystals in it, and it's just very shiny on the eyes. It has purple undertones. The only thing about this is that every single look is very cool tone, which doesn't appeal to every single look every single day, but the mattes blend out themselves. Like you don't need to do a lot of work. The shimmers are beautiful, but it's the same colored shimmers. Like this is this one is very brown. This one is very light brown too. This one and this one almost look the same. This is a little more purple. This one's a little more blue. This is a little more green, but on the eyes, it kind of look the same depending on the base that you have. So I loved it. I thought it was really, really good. I really do. I think this is one of her better palettes that she has compared to, I think, no, I still think Mercury in Retrograde is a little bit better, but that one, I tried it out 2 years, so it's not in this ranking. If Mercury Retrograde was in this ranking, it would be my number 1, like top number 1 of all time, because I freaking love that palette. But I think it's good. I just think it's very couple looks. Like you can probably do 3 looks max, and then you're kind of like, what do I do now? Kind of thing. I feel like I have the same issue with this as Laura Lee Nudie Patootie. Like I'm kind of out of ideas really fast. I do all the looks and I'm like, okay, what do I do now? I want things to inspire me, and this inspired me when I first saw it. And I was like,
oh my god, this is so beautiful.
But after I've been playing with it for a long time, I'm like, okay. I do think that these are the perfect toppers to other palettes, if that makes sense. Like if you want something to be intense and bam in your face with all the glitter, I do use these on top of other shadows to make them, like I'll use this on top of the Moonspell, and then you have a beautiful look. But I feel like things are missing in this palette. Number 5 is Nudie Patootie. Oh, I love this. This is my top 5, so these are like heaven for me. They're amazing. Nudie Patootie, I love this palette. I think this palette has some unique brown shades that you don't really see in other palettes, that haven't really been out there in a palette, I want to say. Especially like this hold on, let me show you. Like this mustard brown called Strip. Like, do you really see that in palettes? I don't. I think that is a beautiful color. This one, Jaybird, my hands are like all swatched, so I gotta do my pinky. Like, hello? Do you see that reflection? Gorgeousness, gorgeousness. This one has to be one of the better shimmer formulas there is out there. It's a foiled shimmer, and I just think it's so good. I feel like you can get a lot more looks with this one, especially because it has a light shade and a really, really dark shade, and then all the ones in betweens. I feel like the only thing that was missing from here is like a really pretty pink, and that's why the Nudie Patootie 2 has this beautiful pink right there in the middle, and you can see both of them complement each other so much, so well. But I feel like this is literally all you need if you really want to try out Laura Lee's formula. This is a lot better than the Huda Beauty browns. Like, I think this is a top-notch, everyday, very neutral palette. It is beautiful, and I don't really like neutral palettes, but this was growing on me where I've worn it so many times, and it's beautiful just for work or a date night, or you can go sultry, you can go sexy. Like it's Number 4 is what I have on my eyes right now. If anyone guessed it, it is the Urban Decay and Naked Wild West. And I know I just tried this, but for this to me just try it and be top 4, that is saying something about the freaking formula. This blue is so pretty. Like, I don't have this blue in any other palette. It has like a teal purple, no, it's like a tealy bluey, it's a teal color, obviously. The brown literally buffed out itself. The pigmentation, I was like, whoa, whoa,
Whoa, whoa.
whoa, beautiful. I don't gravitate a lot towards neutral palettes, but this neutral palette, chef's kiss. It is so pretty. I know it looks boring, but on the eyes, I'm telling you, it's so pretty. It's so pretty on the eyes. That blue right there in the middle is amazing. The brown color Whiskey is like my perfect brown. It blended out like a dream on the side. And then I did Ladero, which is this cool tone brown, like, you know, all over the lid. And then I put Cowboy Prick in the inner corner. I haven't been so impressed by a palette so fast where I'm like, this is top in a long time, like a couple months long, because you guys know that I just got the Rose Quartz and I just got the Lunar Beauty and I just got the Nudie 2. I know I'm gonna use this a lot, like a lot, because I am so freaking impressed. Kind of want to put a little more of that. Look, I'm intensifying it right now in front of you guys. Ooh, ooh, so pretty. I mean, like, hello, look at the shine, and I'm far away from the camera. Let me zoom you guys in. Look at that shine. Look at that blend. Like, you don't see any, do you see patchiness? Because I don't. Like, oh my god. Oh, and the packaging and the snake skin, like, it is so pretty. That is so pretty. And it's heavy duty. It looks luxurious. I could see why Naked has a cult following. Like Naked by Urban Decay has a cult following. I had the Naked 2 or Naked 3
A long time ago.
many years ago when it came out. I don't remember what I thought about it, and it was a gift, so it was already old when I got it. So I think it was very cool toned and I wasn't impressed, but I am freaking impressed by this eyeshadow right now. Like, impressed. Does not have any fallout. The pigmentation, it's not my top 3 because I need to see how it's been working for like a couple months, but I am so impressed, like so impressed just the first time that I used it. Okay, I think you guys can guess, if you guys have seen my top favorites of all time, my top 3. I think you guys know my top 3, but let's just do it together anyways. Number 3 is the Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette remastered. This palette, these shimmers are like any other shimmers I've seen in my life. Let me get a makeup remover wipe just so I can actually show you guys the intensity of these shimmers, because I know this palette's old, but I did get this in the beginning of the year in an Ipsy box and I fell in love with it. When I did, I was so shocked that I got this. I am in love with it, and I just sold my extra and I gave my other extra one away because, long story, I got 2 of them in mystery boxes and it was a long story. Anyways, I had 3 of these, so I sold one on Poshmark. I gave one away to someone. I've never seen the most prettiest, shiniest shimmers in my life. Is this. It's so pigmented, so creamy, like butter. Like, you need no effort to create a beautiful eye look. That black right there, black. I use this black as like an eyeliner. You can use it like to darken up any tone. You can use this as a base and then put the shimmer on top, and it punches, like it gives a punch beautifully. My favorite is Pink Diamond. I don't know if you could tell. That one's Pink Diamond. As you can see, it's been very indented. Pink Diamond has the most beautiful reflection. Look at that reflection. Look at that reflection pigmentation. Like, hello, isn't that just memorizing? Oh, look at the shine. Look at the shine. It has the most beautiful, oh my god, this swatch. Do you see that? Like, do I have anything more to say? But do you see that? Do you see that? This is why it's top 3. Like, there's a reason why my top 3 is my top 3, and that's basically why. Prettiest shimmers I've ever seen in my life. This is an everyday kind of palette. You do only get 1 to 2, 3 looks. You get either a brown, a red, or a pink kind of look. So if you like those, it's for you.
Good luck.
This is for you, basically. The shimmers are... This shimmer Dubai, it's like a gold, green, grungy with pink in it. Look at that. It's very grungy. See that? Very bronzy, very grungy. It kind of has like a shift into pink and gold, and it has pink shimmers in it. It's beautiful. Love it. Love it. This is really good. Really, 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 really good. I was surprised when I got it. I was really happy. I've been using it, as you can tell. I still use it all the time. When I don't know what palette to use, I always gravitate towards this when I don't know what to wear to work, because we can't wear crazy colors at work. Like, I can't do this blue at work, which I wish, because this is a really pretty look. I do this because this is like my savior. This one, I never have to contemplate of what to do, because I just know I just throw on a matte, I just throw on a shimmer, and bam, you're out the door. It's good to go. I really enjoy this. Now I wish that I still had that backup, but the backup's probably old, and if I really want it, I'm just gonna buy it, because I don't want like old product, you know, because I feel like, yeah, you back it up, but like how long did it, like, when did you manufacture it, you know? So that's why I sold it. I actually just dropped it off the post office today. Number 2, say it with me, Michaela X Glamlite. Do I have anything more to say? Okay, you guys probably have heard of Michaela. She's from TikTok. She designed this palette where I was like, this palette is very unique. And I think that's why I love it, because it's so unique. Well, first of all, it's purple. It's my favorite color. It has glitter. I freaking love it. Like, purple and glitter is just me. The colors in here, the shimmers. Look at this. Like, it's so unique. I've never seen a palette that has these types of colors all together, and I think that's why I gravitate towards it, because I was intrigued. Like, this is when a lot of makeup was coming out at the same time, because this was around like April, May, where the pandemic was trying to, like, you know, it was like decreasing a little bit, and so the makeup was trying to come back and conquer, because all the makeup that was trying to release in 2020 just kind of stopped, and so everyone was trying to release everything at the same time. So there was so many palettes thrown at us around like April and May and June, and it was just like a whole overload, and your head was exploding. There was so many palettes that came out in those months, and this was the only one that caught my eye, where I was like, that's different, that's beautiful. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. This is the palette that I take when I travel. This is a palette that I take for special occasions. This is a palette that I take for colorful looks, for bright looks, for fun looks. This is it, because these shimmers can do so many different things. The formula of the mattes are beautiful. They blend. It's just missing a couple core colors. Like, it's missing a black, a deep brown, because this is a dark purple. It's not necessarily, it's like a brown purple, so it's more on the purple side than the brown side. So I wish I had a deeper brown or a black. And it's also missing a lighter color. I wish, this is not the lightest color, this is like a taupe. I wish it had like a cream color, and I wish it had a very light shimmer, like a white shimmer or a light gold shimmer. I just feel like it's missing a little bit, so that's why it's not my number 1. This is why it's not my number 2, because I feel like it's missing just like 3 colors that would have outshone this. Because this is literally, like, I'm telling you, these shimmers are better than these shimmers are better than the Huda Beauty. These shimmers are better than my number 1 palette. But since it's missing a couple core colors that I think this palette would have been outstanding, I feel like these 2 are repetitive, you know? So maybe they could have taken one of these out, and one of these 2 are repetitive, or these 2 are repetitive. This one and this one seem a little repetitive. I feel like they could have taken one of the repetitive colors out and put it in a black or a dark brown and a cream color or a white, and this would have so been number 1. Like, this palette would have taken any other palette out of the water completely ever, and everyone who's used this palette says the same exact. This is the only palette that's been intrigued by them because of how unique it is. The color story, the way it's laid out, it's beautiful. And the shimmers, ma'am, let me tell you, these jewel tones are literally unlike anything you've seen in your life. These, do you see those shimmers? Do you see that color? Do you see that pigmentation? Like, do you see how opaque they are? Do you see how reflective they are from far away? How reflective they are? I mean, I've done a review on this. This has been in a lot of my favorite videos, a lot of my monthly favorite videos. Glamlite has the best shimmer formula, and I'm sad that this is my only Glamlite palette, because I want to invest. I just haven't been intrigued. I was intrigued in that olive palette, but I have a lot of green palettes, and I was intrigued in the margarita palette, but I have a lot of pink palettes. So I want something else that has a lot of different palettes, different colors, because ma'am, Glamlite, I don't know what you're doing, but you're doing something great. This is amazing. This is great. Yeah, so I've used this a lot for special events, a lot for travel. Like when I go on my trips, this is the only one that I take, because this is the only thing you really need. The only thing you really need. Except for I don't have any dark colors or light colors. So I usually have to take one more palette. And the palette that I take and that I love is number 1. And my number 1, I could literally use it for any occasion and it would look beautiful. It will look beautiful because it literally has everything that you need. Everything that you need. My number 1 palette of 2021 and my number 1 palette of all time right now is Lunar Beauty Facelift Palette. Hear me out, just hear me out. I know a lot of you guys are like, oh, well, that's an influencer brand and this and that. Hold on, influencers know what they're doing sometimes because they've tried out so many palettes and so much makeup that when they formulate their own makeup, they usually know what they're doing. They really do. And many threw it out of the water with this palette, okay? I love how condensed and small it is because it's travel friendly. And then you open it up and it literally has everything you need. It has everything you need. And this is what I'm talking about, that this is the perfect palette because it has all your colors. So it has all your primary colors and the little hints of colors here and there. And then it has your 3 shimmers and then it has your neutrals. It has a deep black. This is the blackest pigmented black I've ever seen in my life. Just so pigmented, so good. This is one of the whitest shades I've ever seen in my life too. It's so good. It's so good. So pigmented. This is better than the Candy Skies white and this black is better than the Huda Beauty black.
Yes.
These colors are so pigmented. You can get so many different looks. See, look, you can get a purple look. You can get a blue look. You can get a pink look. You can get a teal look. You can get a this yellow. Okay, yellows are so hard to show up on the skin. I feel like yellow is this is what impressed me in this whole palette was this yellow because, hello? Yellows they're blotchy, they're patchy, they're hard to blend out, they're hard to come out. I used a little bit of concealer when I did this with this look and the yellow actually shows up. It looks kind of fluorescent in the lights of the camera, but in my hands, like when I'm looking at it in the mirror, because I have a mirror right here, I can see this yellow, and yellow is so hard to show up. Like, look, I can't even take it away. So that's what kind of really surprised me. And then the shimmers, this is like the perfect 3 shimmers that you need for any look. I know they're not colorful shimmers, but this one right here, this top one, which is Full Fantasy, this one right here, that is more just like a glitter, like a topper. So any of the color ones, you put a color and then you put that one, it transforms it into a shimmer, okay? See, I just put Kai and then I put Full Fantasy on top and now I got a blue shimmer. See what I'm talking about? Like literally the perfect palette. Because this shimmer transforms any color. This is a pinky shimmer, this is a gold shimmer, perfect what you need. You got your white, you got your black, perfect, and then you got your colors and you got your neutrals. And this Diva color is so good on the lid to just buffing any color out. Hunty is amazing for that inner corner, and then Mug is perfect for that crease. Ooh. This I literally cannot stop using. I think I use it at least once or twice a week. I rotate my palettes out as much as I can to give myself variety to actually try to use all my makeup, but this is number one. This is all you need. Like literally, out of all the palettes I've ever tested in my whole life, out of all the palettes I've ever reviewed, other than Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde because that just has a special place in my heart, Lunar Beauty Facelift Palette did that. All these mattes buff out beautifully, non-patchy, they buff out themselves just like the Huda Beauties, they buff out themselves. This is something special that this is something special, very special, because literally you don't need anything more. Like if I had to throw all my palettes away, I would be okay with this because I could make so many different looks with this, because you would be okay if you knew how to blend and, you know, 2 and 2 together and the shimmers. I'd be happy. I'd be really happy. Anyways, guys, that was ranking all my palettes. We just went through 18 palettes and had 1 nomination, extra nomination. What you guys think? What was your favorite palette? Don't forget to enter into my giveaway. I cannot believe we are in 2022. Happy New Year's, guys. If I didn't say that, Happy New Year's. Thank you guys so much for coming. Don't forget to enter. Everything is down in the description box. Let me know what your favorite palette was. I love you guys. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I love you guys. Bye!